By the 25th century, Earth's resources were ravaged, consumed, exhausted.
Keith Surabaika is an amazing voice actor. Narration will be accepted here. Heck, I'll even remove a sin. But now I have to question why Dr. Kyna's knowledge of anything past his death. Is he the ghost of Marker's future?
We cast out into the void of space and discovered rich new worlds waiting to be cracked open.
Earth scientists invent a means of interstellar travel during Earth's uncertain apocalyptic future. I can assume only geologists were required since the only compulsory parts must have been dirt. And wrecking one planet was not satisfying enough for our species.
For the Marker changes all.
Until it gets pulverized by a moon-sized tectonic mass.
Come in, Isaac!
This line would have been more effective on your honeymoon.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
What the fuck?
USG Ishimura.
Ishimura. Jack-o'-lantern, Kendra talked about two kinds of necromorphs, where one was killing bioforms and the other reanimating them. Not only was this idea completely forgotten, but this necromorph must have been named Matarazi, which incidentally gave it a weakness to headbutting. Hospitalized necromorphs weren't committing mass genocide because they had crippling depression until motivated by Isaac's 30-meter dash. These doors must be related to those elevator doors from the first game. Curiosity. This is the only time where project personnel try to terminate Isaac. Did Tideman send only 2 soldiers to complete this task? Were the rest on strike or something? This guy definitely has eyes in places that I'd rather not picture. So, eyeballs. Also, straitjackets are not so flimsy as to be torn apart by a scalpel. If this dude was planning to help Isaac, why pretend to be Charles Manson?
Why should I trust you?
Because I'm not the one shooting at you.
Apparently, trust is a commodity easily given when under gunfire. Mental health rehabilitation programs often require the use of vents. The Hippocratic Oath must only apply when it's convenient.
Remember me. Patient 5. I'm patient 5, remember?
Forced ambiguity.
Look, I don't need your help.
Fine. Let's see how long you last now.
Does Isaac only see moral dilemmas in black and white? Sprawl life support system expects guns to be at the ready 24/7. This a subliminal message or a metaphor? Evil washing machines.
The marker was destroyed, Dana. I destroyed it.
You did not destroy the marker. You ran away like a little girl and got lucky.
Hey, Dana, there's this crazy guy that keeps contacting me. I saw him back at the hospital.
Isaac gained no insight whatsoever from his advents aboard the Ishimura. By impaling your eye with the syringe and thereby preventing you from making us whole. One of the writers from the Fast movies must have an excerpt from their script involved in any vehicle cameo in this game.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, you got that right. You try it, and you're dead.
And then she immediately drops her guard by turning her back to him.
But if he does anything stupid, anything, I will shoot him.
Struss hasn't been killed, discarded, and isn't prancing like the creeper.
Public sector is already beyond acceptable recovery conditions. I can't allow you to escape. Goodbye, Clark.
You're not getting out of this cliché.
Ellie, I've got the elevator repaired.
Only one branch of engineering exists in this universe. The job market must be oversaturated with only a few hundred engineers. Laser trap rooms inspired by Resident Evil 4, but clearly not as effective. Isaac lands on his feet when he should have tumbled and fell. Come on, you guys stand by me, right?
Isaac, I'll try to open the CEC door on your level. Giving it my codes, but it's not working. I'm authorized for this. Open up, you bastard! There, it's open.
Might have opened faster if she had said open sesame.
Goodbye, Clark.
This is the second time this cephalopod has walked away assuming Isaac is dead.
One of us will have to deploy it from the gear house.
Staring. Asking. I stay here and I'll try to get him on his feet.
Babysitting. I really like this idea of Nicole in Isaac's head, but her irrational arguments and non-existent backstory with Clark makes him look like Sigmund Freud. Are you saying Isaac had all of Nicole's transmission in the first game but didn't watch it through to the end because he had assumed she had already died? The deuce?
Okay, Ellie, you ready? One more.
What? Are you crazy? That one in the middle. If you set that off, it will incinerate everything in here.
Too many minutes spent on explaining the blast radius of explosives.
If I can line the tracks up just for a few seconds, you should be able to get the transport across. Stay ready! And take care of Strauss.
Isaac, no! This is a really bad idea.
I'll stick around. I'm full of bad ideas.
A funny line, but makes the audience wonder why anyone would survive successful implementation of bad ideas. the ship was going to get decommissioned in a year, why waste time, money, and resources on retrieving and rebuilding?
They're swarming in through a hole in the medical deck. At least you won't have to go through there.
Unexpected obstruction ahead. Shutting down. Welcome to the medical deck.
Crap.
Isaac Drake Clarke Jr. in Uncharted Space 2 among necromorphs.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you.
Seriously, 90% of all Tanya Clark's deliveries are like nails on a chalkboard. Was that the end game for this character? Isaac reaches and jettisons in the escape pod, crashes somewhere near a government sector, remains out cold for who knows how long, and when he awakes, Strauss is still coming at Ellie with the screwdriver. Were they stuck in stasis for the majority of the scene? Also, Ellie must have convinced Strauss to make a quick call to Isaac before he stabs her in the eye. Ellie survives this. Judging from the way the eyeball is positioned on the screwdriver, Ellie must have been looking 90 degrees towards the inside of her head while facing completely forward. Strauss survives this. Convenient tentacle. Convenienticle? Strauss fails to murder Isaac even after ambushing him.
Tell her I didn't mean to do it! Strauss, it's me!
Trying to reason with an insane person. A desperate ex-girlfriend. Step 1 when out of ideas. Find impossible ways to remind, present, and advance the plot. And I thought Yu-Gi-Oh's solid vision concept was stupid. Also, the entire Strauss subplot was rendered utterly pointless since Isaac obtained the information to destroy the marker from Nicole because he had no other way of acquiring it post-mortem Strauss. Ex Machina is Ex Machina.
Looks like we reached the foundation pylons of the government sector.
So how do we get in there?
Straight ahead. We do have a giant drill.
You know I'm riding on top of this thing, right?
I feel like Dead Space 2 tries too hard to fit into the comedic horror genre. This brand of storytelling is difficult to do justice on screen. Visceral should have just stuck to horror, though this is probably all a corporate pencil pusher is doing.
I don't know what Providence protects you, Clark, but it ends here.
It's not so much Providence that is your inept actions to bad guy. Being a ship systems engineer means you have the know-how to bypass all created security doors in the universe. Isaac is not Swiss cheese after this encounter.
I knew you were trouble from the start, but they told me you were unnecessary.
Tideman wants to replicate the limitless energy potential of the markers so that humanity would not have to rely on planet cracking. That is his motivation, knowing full well the inherent cons. The problem is, unless extra research is done, you would never know this. A prime example of wasted potential for the sake of merchandising. Dead Space 1, 2, and 3 are all from Isaac's POV. If that's all you play, that's all you know. Isaac went through this procedure before, so why do both of his eyes have 20/20 vision? Game is a prick to storytelling. The generators were enemies Dr. Mercer was experimenting with, so why is there one here? Game is a massive prick to storytelling. Dead Space 2 takes physics lessons from Devil May Cry 3. Dead Space 2 turns into the intro for Spider-Man 3. Dead Space 2 shouldn't have had a lousy sequel called Dead Space 3.
Reactor containment disabled. A reactor breach is imminent. Evacuation of all personnel is required. This is not a drill.
Are markers sentient organizers of all functions of technology? Because it seems that as soon as one is destroyed, the rapture happens. You can just skip this post-credits dialogue. EA made sure Dead Space is literally dead space.